So I'm like, what did I do to deserve this? This can't be happening. So I was like, man, can you put your clothes on, please? So she goes to my room, grabs the blanket, wraps herself up in a blanket, comes back out bawling, crying. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And at this point, I'm realizing what I said earlier. It goes back to some of the mental stuff.
Yeah, you're dealing with something mental right here.
And so I'm like, I'm not gonna mistreat this person. They got something going, but I gotta get her up out of here because what she got going, I don't really fool with. So I don't want no misunderstandings and like that because I don't know which way this is gonna go. But she broke down, bro. She started confiding in me, and she told me, I've never had anybody, be so nice to me and treat me so nice, and I'm sitting here naked and you're not even trying to touch me or get on me. I'm like, no, ma'am. No. I'm not at all. You know what I'm saying? This is not how I move. This is not how I roll, right? You know what I mean? This is not. She's like, I just never had somebody who just was willing to listen to me talk and all this kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, what the fuck kind of Freddy Krueger ass motherfuckers is you dealing with that they just come in, you know what I mean, slicing and dicing and.
Well, from the beginning of the story, her bringing around a group of people and them chasing them down and saying that she don't got somebody now. Right. She's dealing with people like that, and she's probably never experienced someone that really was just put together or wasn't really about all that. It was really, you were really trying to get to know this girl, and and she was like, "Why is he being nice to me?" And she was confused. Like, man, that's just sad. Like that. Like, who are you dealing with?
And fast forward, many conversations with her later. Because I wasn't, I'm like I said, I wasn't going to mistreat her, bro. She was a baddie now. You feel me? She was.
So but is that why? But if she was ugly, would you have treated differently?
JB. There are no ugly people.
But you said she was. You can't say that because you said she was a baddie.
There are some people who are just more attractive than others.
Okay.
All right.
You have your type. You know what you're saying.
Some people who are just more attractive than others.
She was your type.
Right. She was more attractive than others. All right. So that being said, I talked to her and got to know her a little bit, and she confided in me and talked about some of the traumas that she had dealt with dealing with the opposite sex. Talked about being touched inappropriately by friends of her brother, and when she was young, and some people who would spend the night at the crib and all that kind of stuff, and how it affected her. It made her feel like her interactions with males for that acceptance needed to be sexual, right? You know what I mean? Which made perfect sense because she was not the only one I ever heard that from.
Oh yeah, yes, I've heard that before. Like,
you know what I mean?
That women feel. Women or people that's been through that feel like they feel valued through sexual experiences. Right. And like they feel like if you don't, like all I can give, all I'm worth is a lay, basically. Right. Yeah, I've heard people say that. Yeah, and it's true.
And they find unfortunately they find their value in that. Mm-hmm. But one of my experiences is that it kind of helped me growing up with a woman, coming from the single parent background, kind of seeing those experiences through the lens of a single mother, right? But I was different from some males who have been raised by single mothers and they become very effeminate, right? Mm-hmm. I had a lot of cousins and uncles and my grandmother who kind of made sure that I would walk around the crib with no female garments on, and I had a level of masculinity. Like I would go with my uncles and play ball and to the park, and you know what I mean. Even though my father wasn't there like he should have been, so I didn't really have the experience. But I get it. Some brothers grew up only sisters with their aunt sitting around their grandmother, and they doing all the feminine stuff, which affects the psyche as they get older. That's a different conversation. We'll have at a later date, but. With that being said, back to old girl and some of the females I dealt with who had those experiences, I had an understanding of the mentality and where they found value, and the fact that she actually, fast forward a little bit later, at this point, we've been kicking it for a little minute. We ain't got no label on it, but we kicking it.
So you still dealt with her after all this?
Come on, man. Come on, baby. You know, she was more attractive than us. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, I'm not, you know. So we done did the thing a few times at this point. You know what I mean? She done came over. You let me love you down, all the way down.
Pause. I got a question. So with that being done, okay, so and you knowing that by her mentality, I mean her mental state and stuff like that, did you see a difference in her? Did you treat her like with you? Did you show her with like? Did you show her value? Well, like did you try to like put that like I'm not trying to be like that, or were you just like, well, I'm just gonna be the whatever, we'll see where it leads to.
Well, check it out. So she had a little problem. You know, every now and then she used to get on that narcotic. Mm-hmm. All right, and she stayed was hitting the box of wine like it was like she was getting paid for endorsement deals. You know what I mean? So but when she was sober, she was the sweetest girl in the world, for real.
She was getting shit done.
I don't know about getting nothing done. No. Right, because she was sweet. Like, to the point, like, one time she stayed over. Like, all right, well, I'm about to get on and go to work, but just when you leave, whatever, lock the door or whatever, because she's like, because her brother didn't stay far. Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna go to my brother's house and he'll take me home, blah blah blah. Because there's just a lot going on, bro. She didn't have no car. Mm-hmm. She still was at her parents' crib. But I'm in the early 20s. We're both in our 20s. Yeah, I mean, mid to early 20s. So it's like you don't really look too down upon a lady or a girl, young woman. Yeah, she was trying to figure it out. Right? Yeah. So I wasn't tripping on that. I was like, just lock the door when you leave. Do. I'll get off from work. I come back. I get back to the crib about 4 o'clock. Bro, she laid up on the couch watching TV. I'm like, what are you doing here? She don't came in a housewife, bro. She a housewife. I'm like, to the point where her family, her mom and dad, you're such a good energy for her, and we want her to be around positive people and people who gonna treat her right and care about her. Like, oh, her. Let's flag. I'm throwing the flag, blowing the whistle on that one. Look, I get it. I understand that. But one, I'm not where y'all think I'm at. You know what I mean? For her to try to really lock it down, be with her. But it's just my way. I'm going to be nice and kind and courteous to the ladies. I always have been. I'm not going to be disrespectful. There's just no need.
So what was the label?
Man, we was just labelless, right? But here go the thing. Fast forward, and I'm going to wrap it up with this. I fast forward a little bit later, dealing with her, I started to see a level of resentment.
From her?
From her toward me because I was so kind. I was so cool, right? And I kind of just gave her freedom to do her. And she mistook that as I didn't care. I didn't care. You didn't care. Like, and I'm like, what? Like, nah. I mean, I just from Jump Street, I knew we're not headed toward matrimony. You feel me? I'm sure still trying to figure my little life out. You did, but at the same time, I'm not trying to use you up and take full advantage of you. I don't take things that are not given. You feel me? Yeah. And I'm like, man, you tripping, bro. And it kind of ended on a sour note. Dealing with her, and I will say many years later, after I had did the military situation and got a little everyday job, I ran into her again. Complete 180 from who she used to be. Mm-hmm. Got a little job, holding it down, completed some schooling. She was married, had 2 kids. I was like, oh, you bullshit. You know what I mean? Because she was so wild. And you know what? It meant a lot. Slick, because she apologized to me like, she's like, yo, I was wild back then, so I don't even remember all the crazy stuff I did, but I do remember.
She remembers.
She might not have, bro, because most of the time, some of the times when I seen her, even before I even dealt with her, I seen her about, she was around the way, so you know what I mean. It's like she's off the hook. You know what I mean, off the chisnip at the same time. But long story short, she ended up apologizing, like, she appreciated how I treated her, with respect, even at times when she didn't respect herself. And I was like, that's love, you know what I mean? And I'm happy. Last time I seen her, she was doing her thing. She got the family and stuff like that, right? But she wasn't the only one. That was just my wildest one because she was the person I dealt with more frequently for at least a 6-month period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where we was like, man, we fooling around or whatever, but it's like, man, it's, woo, Thundercat.
Yeah.
You know? So, and I say all that to say, man, kind of segue into this dealing with the trauma and constant trauma, the Will and Jada, part 76.
Yeah, but but with that being said, you're gonna have to tell me about it because I ain't really been keeping up with it. I know he smacked Chris Rock and Jada,
right.
All this Tupac stuff been going on right now. I don't really keep up with it, but I would love to know. What's going on?
So I think last week, about a week ago or so, sometime or another, she did an interview on I don't remember, one of these interviews talking about her and Will been separated since 2016. Like, oh, cut it out. I'm like,
yeah.
All right. So now you're telling me y'all been separated since 2016 and y'all just been amicable. You know what I mean? Y'all been what's the word I'm looking for, fam? Y'all just been getting along since 2016.
But when did that
the entanglement?
The entanglement stuff.
That's where you're throwing me for a loop once again, Jada, because the entanglement was like in 2020.
Yeah, it had to been
2020, 2021.
Yeah, 2021. Somewhere around that.
Yeah. And it's like, but you telling us now, for 7 years, you and Will been, was it 6 or 7 years, right? 2016.
She said 7. They've been
since 16. They've been separated.
Yeah, 7 years or something.
Right. So you telling us now, after the smack, after the entanglement, after I should have married Tupac, that y'all been separated.
She said that?
Man, we heard him. Tupac. That's nothing she said most recently. Tupac supposedly proposed. I don't know.
Oh, asked her when he was locked up.
Yeah.
I read that. I heard some shit. Yeah.
Nobody. I don't know. I wasn't there. He could have. I doubt it. Whatever. So, bro, I'm like, Jada, where are you at mentally, right? That you continuously are just like, because nobody's asking for this stuff, right?
She keeps dogging him,
right?
Like making him look, like she's willing to like she is trying to just what is the end goal here? Is what I'm trying to look at. Because if my wife was done some stuff, like, even with the entanglement, whatever the hell that means, like, it would have been over. Like, and Will just keep letting shit go. And then this man, basically, I would say, ruined his image, I would say money too, but he got money, he ain't really worried about that. When he smacked Chris Rock over her, all this stuff is leaked. Like, she's breaking him down.
But she also said, she done said a lot in this last week for him. She also said in that time of the initial separation or something to that effect that Chris Rock had actually asked her out.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, whoa. And so it's like, just all this stuff is like out of left field, off the top rope. Jada's back at it again. Nobody's asking for it. Like, nobody, nobody would even know this stuff if she wasn't putting it out there. Right?
Yeah. And
it's like, I heard somebody say something and bring up a valid point, right? Obviously, Will was the superstar, right? Been monumental hits in the box office, been doing his thing for a minute now, worldwide, world renowned. Everybody knows who he is. Jada really ain't did no movies like that, right? And at this point in her life, her only relevance is that she's Will Smith's wife. We know her as Jada Pinkett Smith, right? Because what the last blockbuster hit she was in? Exactly, right? And so it's like, and maybe she felt like there'd be, because you know how everybody has their season. Like, actors will come in, they'll be hot, they'll get about 4 or 5 movies be popping, they'll take a little hiatus, and they'll jump back on the scene again, do 2 or 3 big movies, and then they'll fall back and then they'll jump back. They kind of